Good afternoon, students. Welcome to the 39th lecture of fluid mechanics. We are in the unit 3 discussing about the laminar flow and turbulent flow. So in the previous classes, we have discussed about the laminar flow types and turbulent flow types, which are flowing in a circular pipe by taking the two derivations, that is Hazen-Poiseuille's equation for laminar flow and Darcy-Weisbach equation for the turbulent flow. And also we have seen the average velocities, and also we have seen the flow of velocity, the flow of fluids, viscous fluids in a parallel plates, and also the associated problems regarding that. Today in this session, we will discuss about the new topic, that is major and minor losses in the pipes. So whenever the pipe is having different design, that is a bend, obstructions, ups and downs, or any slant, or some sort of foreign particles indulged in the pipe. So what happens to the effect of the flow? That we'll discuss in this major and minor losses of the pipes. Yes. So we are at this minor losses. Okay, in this minor losses, we are having various categories, various factors to discuss. And in that, we are having the pipes in series and the pipes in the parallel, right? Yeah, now we see. So we see we have got some information regarding that. The laminar flow and turbulent flow have been utterly discussed. So we have seen that when the Reynolds number is less than 2000, we are calling them the pipe flow as laminar flow. When the Reynolds number is more than 4000, we are calling them as a turbulent flow. Right? Here we discuss about the flow of fluids through pipes running in a full will be considered. So next we'll discuss about the pipes that are partially filled. So whenever the pipes are partially filled with the fluid, it may be the water or a kerosene or a oil, what happens to the sewer lines? The pressure inside the pipe is same equal to the atmospheric pressure. Okay, now whenever the fluid is filled in the pipe fully, then the atmospheric pressure will be different when compared to the pipe atmospheric pressure. Whenever the pipe is having half of water in the sewer lines, the pressure inside the pipes is equal to the pressure outside the atmospheric pressure. Then the flow of the fluid in the pipe is not under the pressure. Therefore, the flow of fluid is not under the pressure. Then in this case, we will take the flow of water through open channels. So whenever the flow of channels are open, then automatically the fluid pressure will be equal in the channels as well as in the outside atmosphere. Therefore, whenever the losses of energy can take place during this action. So whenever the fluid is flowing through the pipe, what happens? The fluid experiences some resistance. So whenever the fluid is flowing through the pipe, the fluid exerts some sort of experience, that is some resistance, due to which some energy is lost. Some fluid energy is lost. This loss of energy is known as energy losses. This loss of energy is known as energy losses. Here, the major energy losses and minor energy losses. So the energy losses are classified into two types. One is a major energy loss, other one is a minor energy loss. So the major energy loss, what we have discussed, that is Darcy-Weisbach equation and Census Formula. This is due to the friction. And it's calculated by the following formula. This happens due to the friction. This happens due to the partially filled the pipe. That is, when this minor energy losses takes place, whenever the pipe is having sudden expansion, that means the variations in the pipe diameters, right? Sudden expansion in the pipe, sudden contraction in the pipe means sudden expansion means, so the pipe is, at this case it is narrow, suddenly it is expanding. In some cases, it is suddenly decreasing like this. So bend in the pipe fittings, and obstruction in the pipe. So in these cases, the minor energy losses are happening. So here you will get a theory question. So what are the losses of energy in the pipes? Discuss. So when you go to question like this, you have to write this sentence and the differentiation. Major energy losses and minor energy losses. So based on this, we'll have some derivations, and based on the derivations, we'll have some problems to discuss. Next. So next case, the loss of energy due to the friction. So we'll see the loss of energy due to the friction. So in this loss of energy due to the friction, we are having two cases. One is Darcy-Weisbach formula, other one is a Census formula, what we have already derived in the earlier classes. So whenever the major energy losses due to the friction, we are having two cases to solve. One is Darcy-Weisbach equation, other one is a Census formula. Now coming to the Darcy-Weisbach equation, the loss of head, the head loss in the pipes due to the friction is calculated from the Darcy-Weisbach equation, which has been derived in the earlier chapter. Mundagane manam already derived this Darcy-Weisbach equation, that is HF is equals to 4 into F into L V square by 2 into dg, where HF is a loss of the head. So the coefficient of friction F ఇది కూడా మనము solve చేసుకున్నాం. 16 by RE when it is less than 2000. When it is more than 4000, that is 0.079 RE 1 by 4. So whereas in this formula, L is equal to length of the pipe, V is equal to mean velocity, D is equal to diameter of the pipe. Now taking the Census formula into consideration, Census formula, this is also a formula what we already derived, that is HF is equals to F dash into rho G into P by A. To P by A. So here we are discussing HF is equals to L into V square. So here HF is equals to loss of head due to the friction, P is equals to wetted perimeter of pipe, A is equals to area of cross section, L is equals to length of the pipe, and V is equals to mean velocity of the pipe. Now the ratio of A by P, that is A by P is the area of flow by wetted perimeter, is called hydraulic main depth or hydraulic radius, and it is denoted by M. So M is equals to A by P, right? So like this we have to go with the Census formula. So based on this Darcy-Weisbach equation, based upon this Darcy-Weisbach equation and Census formula, we will solve some problems, right? Yes. So if you see the hydraulic mean depth M, so what is M is equal to A by P. So then what is the area A here? Pi d square by 4. Pi P is equal to perimeter pi d. That is equals to, after solving, we are getting D by 4. Therefore, substituting A by P here, in this Census formula, HF is equals to F dash by rho G into L into V square by 1 by M, or V square is equals to HF into rho G by F dash into M into 1 by L, that is equals to rho G into F dash into M by HF by L. Therefore, then what is the V here? V is equals to root of rho G by F dash into M into HF by L is equals to this one. Whereas rho G by F dash is equal to C, where C is the constant known as Census constant, and HF by L, that is equal to I, that is the loss of head per unit length of the pipe. So substituting, finally we are getting V is equals to C into root Mi. So this is known as Census formula, where C is equals to this one, right? I is equals to this one. Okay. Now, thus the loss of head due to the friction of the pipe from the Census formula is obtained in the velocity of flow through the pipe, also known as C. The value of M pipe are equal, is always equal to D by 4. Next, based on these formulas, Census formula on the Weisbach equation, we will solve some of the problems. Okay, right. Find the head lost find the head lost due to the friction in the pipe. Find the head lost due to the friction in the pipe. Diameter anta 300 mm and the length of the pipe is 50 meters, through which the water is flowing at a velocity of 3 meters per second. So what is the velocity? 3 meters per second. Now find the head loss by using Darcy formula and Census formula. We are taking C is equals to 60 value, and from the taking value V is equals to 0.01 stroke. Now what is the given data? So what this given data, you will get some marks. From this formula you will get as a 1. So here I am getting two data. One is the diameter of the pipe D is equals to 300 mm, that is equal to 0.30 meters. Then what is the length of the pipe? Length of the pipe is 50 meters. Then velocity of the flow is 3 meters per second. So this is a given data. C is equals to 60. V is equals to kinetic viscosity 0.01. Stroke ante convert into mm. So 0.01 by 10, that is equals to meters. Now what is the Darcy formula? The Darcy formula is this one. Now applying all these values here, so F is equals to coefficient of friction related to the function Re. Then what is the Re? First we have to find the what type of flow it is. Therefore Re is equals to V into D by V. Therefore what is V here? V is equals to 3 meters per second divided by small v is equals to 0.01 into 10 to the power of minus 4 into D. This one D, right? So finally this is the answer. So this one Re is equals to 9 into 10 to the power of 5, which is a turbulent flow, right? Then the value of F is equals to, according to this formula, value of F is equals to, see here. So less than 2000 unte, it is viscous flow. More than 2000 and more than 4000, 4000 unte, it is this one. So we are using this formula now, 0.079 divided by Re 1 to the power of 4, 1 by 4. Therefore, the value is F is equals to 0.00256. Now, substituting all the values here, HF is equals to 4 into 0.00256 into 50 into T3 square divided by 0.3 into 2 into 9.81. Therefore, head lost here is equals to 0.7828 meters. Got it? Next, coming to the Census formula. So the Census formula is capital V is equals to C into root mi, where C already given 60. What is M here? M is equals to D by 4. M is equals to D by 4. See here, M is equals to D by 4. Right? Now substituting the values here, we are getting the values. Now substituting here, V is equals to C into 0.05 into I, where I is equals to 3 by 60 to the power of square into 1.1 by 0.75. That is the value of I is equals to this. But I is equals to HF by L as per the formula, HF by 50. Now equating the two values, I we have HF by 50 is equals to this one. Therefore HF value is 1.665 meters. Got it? So like this we have to do by using the Census formula and Darcy's respect equation. Next, coming to the second problem. Find the diameter of the pipe. Find the diameter of the pipe having the length is 2000 meters when the rate of flow of water. Find the diameter of the pipe length 2000 meters when the rate of flow of water through the pipe is 200 liters per second and the head loss due to the friction is 4 meters. Take the value C is equals to 50 in Census formula. So we have to find the diameter. The formulas are as usual. And what is the length of the pipe? 2000. What is the discharge given? 200 liters per second. Convert into meter cube, that is 0.2. And what is the head lost? 4 meters. What is the Census constant? 50. Then what is the diameter? So the diameter is equal to small d. Now what is the velocity of the flow? Velocity of the flow is already మనకి discharge ఇచ్చారు కాబట్టి discharge by area కట్టండి. Then what is the discharge? 0.2. Area is pi d square by 4. So in order to get the d value, we have done this one. So pi d square by 4, that is equal to this value. V is equals to 0.2 into 4 pi d square. Then what is the hydraulic mean depth? The hydraulic mean depth M is equals to D by 4, right? Then the I is equals to, this is a formula. So HF is given and length is given. I is equals to 0.002. By taking the Census formula, V is equals to C into root Mi. So substituting the values of V, Mi and C, we get V. What's the V here? V is equals to this one. C value, we know that 50. And root M is equals to D by 4 into 0.002. So substituting all this, this one, we are getting slowly the value. So slowly we are getting the value. So finally, the T is equals to root 5.0518. That is equals to 553 mm. So like this, you have to find the diameter of the pipe by using Census formula, right? So Census formula already చెప్పారు కాబట్టి, so you can do this way. The hydraulic mean depth is D by 4. M is equals to D by 4. See here, hydraulic mean depth formula, M is equals to D by 4. So you have to keep this formula in the mind. Understood? Next problem. Okay, only one student. Waste of taking the classes. Totally waste of taking the class. Yes. Now see the problem. A crude oil of kinematic viscosity, crude oil of kinematic viscosity 0.4 stoke is flowing. So here the fluid is not water, it is oil. So the crude oil of kinematic viscosity 0.4 stoke is flowing through a pipe of diameter. So what is the pipe diameter? The pipe diameter is 300 mm and the rate of flow is 300 liters per second. Find the head loss of the friction for the length of 50 mm pipe. That's a given. So simply by taking the head loss equation. So find the head loss annappudu, you have to get this formula in the mind. Very simple problem, right? Now what is the given data? V is equals to 0.4 stoke. Therefore 0.4 by 10, that's equal to 0.4 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meter squares per second. Then the diameter of the pipe is 300 mm, that's equal to 0.30. Then what is the Q? Q is equals to 0.3 meter cube per second. And what is the length of the pipe? 50 meters. Then the velocity of the flow, V is equals to manaki discharge formula undi kada, dan base cheskoni capital V is equals to Q by A. Therefore you are getting V directly. Then after getting V, go with the Reynolds number. What is the Reynolds number? Reynolds number is equal to V into D by small v. Therefore after substituting these values, you are getting 3.8 into 10 to the power of 4, the Reynolds number. Then 3.8 into 10 to the power of 4 is more than 4,000. More than 4,000 will take the turbulent flow in the action. Therefore for the turbulent flow, what is the formula of F here? F is equals to this one. F is equals to this formula. So F value is this one. So after getting all the values, what you have to find? The head loss. Head loss is equals to 4 into F into L V square divided by T into 2G. So after substituting all the values, we are getting the value of HF is equals to 3.61. So these are very, very simple problems, so that you will get in a part B 2 questions under third question A, B. So A lo ilanti question, B lo ilanti similar question, you can get some of the problems, right? Next one. Next problem. I think hope you are understanding the concept, right? I'm not going in a fast. I'm not going in a hurry. So simple problems, that's why I'm discussing somewhat. So like this, you are having some few problems related to those things. We'll go to the other topic. Next, now here, instead of water, we are using oil. Oil of specific gravity is 0.7. Is flowing through a pipe of diameter 300 mm. Then what is the rate? 500 liters per second. Find the head loss and a power. To maintain the flow, length is 1000 mm. Take value V is equals to 0.29. So, mundu problem lo additional game ichchadu, find the power. So, we have to find the power. Remaining is as it is. What is the specific weight of oil? S is equals to 0.7. What is the diameter of the pipe? Diameter of the pipe is 300 mm. Then what is the Q? 500 ante 0.5 meter cube per second. Then what is the length of the pipe? 1000. Based upon this input, first we find the velocity of the pipe, velocity of the flow. Therefore, velocity of the flow is Q by area. Therefore, solving this one, we got the value 7.073. Next, the Reynolds number. So, the Reynolds number RE is equals to V into small d divided by V. Therefore, the value of V substitute 7.073 into diameter D is equals to 0.03 divided by what is small v? The small v is 0.29 into 10 to the power of 4. The small v is 0.29 into 10 to the power of 4. So, substituting this one, we are getting the value of this. So, small v is equals to 0.29 Stokes, 0.29 into 10 to the power of -4 value. Okay. Once you got this one, so what is this value you have to take? 7.316 into 10 to the power of 4 in the property. It is exceeding 4000 limit. Therefore, it is turbulent flow. Then what is the formula you have to take for the turbulent flow? This is the formula. So, once you got the Reynolds number value, దానికి యూనిట్స్ ఏముండవు కాబట్టి once you got the Reynolds number value, you have to assume that it is less than 1000 or more than 4000. Based on this, you have to see the F value. Less than అనుకోండి 16 by RE ఉంటుంది. Greater than 4000 అనుకోండి, you have to take this formula. After substituting these values, you are getting the value of F is equals to 0.0048. Then what is the thing you have to find? Find the head loss. Therefore, the head loss due to the friction, HF is equals to 4 into F into L into V square by D into 2G. Then after substituting all the values here, we are getting the value is 163.18 meter. So next, what is the thing to find? They ask you to find the power required. The power required is equals to rho into G into Q into HF by 1000. Then what is rho here? The density of the oil. Density of the oil ఎంత ఇచ్చాడు? 0.07 ఇచ్చాడు. So rho convert చేసుకోవాలి కాబట్టి 0.7 into 1000, that is equal to 700 kg per meter cube. Therefore, what is the power required? The power required is equals to rho value తెలుసు, G value తెలుసు 9.81, Q value is known and HF value is known, divided by 1000. After substituting all the values, I'm simplifying. Finally, you are getting the power is 560.28 kilowatts. Now, let's see the next problem. Coming to the next problem, calculate the discharge through the pipe. Diameter is 200 mm. When the difference of the pressure head is between the two ends of the pipe is 500 mm apart. The pressure head difference length anamata, right? Apart is 4 meters of water. Take the value of F. F value already ichadu in the formula by using this formula అని చెప్పాను. Then what is the thing you have to find? You have to find the Q and find the head loss formula, head loss value. Then what is the given diameter? The diameter of the pipe D is equals to 200 mm, that is 0.2 meter. Then what is the pressure difference? The length of the pipe is 500. Then what is the difference in the pressure head? 4 meters. Difference in the pressure head is HF is equals to 4 meters of water. Then what is the F value? 0.009, coefficient of friction. And what is the thing you have to find? You have to find the Q, right? Therefore, by applying this formula, substitute the values, given values as it is. HF is equal to 4 into F into L into V square divided by 0.2 into 2 into 9.81. Therefore, the velocity and after substituting this value, simplifying, the velocity is 0.872. Got it? So once you got the V square, so calculate, go for with the V. V is equals to root of 0.872, that is equal to 0.934 meters per second. So once you got the velocity, what is the thing you have to find? You have to go for the discharge. Discharge is equals to Q into discharge. Q is equals to velocity into area. And what is the velocity here? 0.934 into area is equal to pi d square by 4. Then what is the d here? 0.2. Now substituting these values directly, so directly you are getting the discharge value. So these are very simple and easy problems by using the Darcy and the Census Formula. Got it? I think hopes you are understanding the small problems. Okay, now next. See the next problem. The water is flowing through a pipe. The water is flowing through a pipe of a diameter 200 mm. The water is flowing through a pipe of diameter 200 mm with the velocity 3 meters per second. So what is the velocity? 3 meters per second. What is the water is flowing through the pipe of diameter 200 mm. Find the head lost. Find the head lost due to the friction for a length of 5 meters. If the coefficient of friction is F is equals to 0.02 plus this one, whereas RE is equal to Reynolds number. The kinetic viscosity of water is given as 0.12. So what is the thing you have to find? You have to find the HF value. So write all the values. So of writing all the values given data, the diameter of the pipe D is equals to 0.2 meters. And what is the velocity? Capital V velocity is equals to 3 meters per second. Then what is the length? The length is given as 5 meters. What is the coefficient of friction? The coefficient of friction is this one. Then the viscosity of water, kinetic viscosity V is equals to 0.01 into 10 to the power of minus 4 meters square per second. Now taking the RE value, RE is equals to V into D into V. Therefore, substituting this one, we are getting the value of R. So therefore, what is the thing? There is a turbulent flow. Then by taking the value F is equals to 0.02 plus 0.9, this one, substituting RV value here, we are getting this simplification. Finally, the value of F is equals to 0.02116. Once you are getting the coefficient of friction F, then the head loss HF is equals to 4 into F into L into V square by 2G. That is equals to, after simplifying this one, the value is 9.48 meter. Next time, also find coefficient of friction, head loss due to the friction. So power evaluated, but we'll calculate the power also. Then what is the power formula? Rho into G, Q into HF by 1000. The power formula, this one. Rho into G, like this. In the same way here also, rho into G into Q into HF by 1000. That is equals to the 900 rho. 900 into 9.81 into 0.06 discharge Q, and 9.81, that is equals to this. I think sorry, HF. So this not comes under yeah, this one only, right? So like this, you have to solve the problems based upon the Census formula and this one. this up to here we have completed. We have completed the major energy losses. Under this major energy losses, we are having two things, that is Darcy Weisbach equation and Census Formula. Based upon two equations, we have solved the problems where the energy is losing higher in case of closed pipes. Now we'll see the major energy losses in the sewer lines which are not under full pressure. Why? Because of these cases. So these are the cases why we are having the minor energy losses. See, the major energy losses. So ముందు చెప్తున్న కాన్సెప్ట్ వచ్చేసి the minor energy losses, the major energy losses. Now the topic what we are discussing is the major energy losses. If we get a 2 marks question, so what are the major energy losses in a pipe flow అన్నప్పుడు మీరు ఈ థియరీ రాయాలన్నమాట. Understood? Next, the loss of head or energy due to friction in a pipe is known as major loss. So what is the meaning of this one? Meaning is the loss of head or energy, due to the friction in the pipe. Due to the friction in the pipe, you are getting a loss. That is known as major loss. While the loss of energy due to the change in the velocity, velocity lo emanna changes jarigite, right, of the following fluid in magnitude or direction of the fluid, those things are called as minor losses of energy. So if we get a 2 marks question, this will be the question. What are the major and minor energy losses in a fluid flow? Annappudu you have tried this one and you have tried the differentiation. Major losses ki due to the friction we are having 2 cases. Minor losses ki due to the changes in the velocity you are having these cases అని చెప్పి రాయాలన్నమాట. Right? Now the loss of head or energy due to the friction in the pipe is known as major loss, while the loss of energy due to the change in the velocity of the liquid with respect to the direction of the magnitude is known as minor losses of the energy. Therefore, the major losses of the energy are of this one. What is the first case? Loss of head due to the sudden enlargement. So whenever the fluid is flowing constantly with some velocity in a pipe, whenever the fluid is taking a high magnitude, changes in the velocity suddenly with the enlargement of the pipe, either decrease or increase of the velocity by the sudden enlargement of the pipe, thereby the minor losses will occur. That is the first case. Then what is the second case here? The loss of head due to the sudden contraction. So whenever the pipe, so this case is completed. So what is the second case here? The loss of head due to the sudden contraction. So whenever the pipe is traveling in some diameter pipe, suddenly it is going at the neck recession lo velindante, means suddenly it's going in a narrow pipe or a contracted pipe, then also the magnitude and the velocity of the flow will changes. Therefore, here also you are getting the minor losses. Then loss of head at the entrance of the pipe. So whenever the pipe is entering at the entrance of any other pipe, automatically you will get some losses, minor losses happens. Next, loss of head at exit of the pipe. So tarvata exit of the pipe kuda, because of some frictional factor, some other magnitude changes in the velocity, you are having some minor losses. Next, loss of head due to the obstruction in the pipe. So whenever, if you take any sewer lines or any domestic household pipelines, so whenever there is any obstruction, clogging of any fungus material or algae material or any paper material, thread material in the pipe, so what happens? The water velocity anedi, it will changes. So the velocity of the water will change and also the magnitude also will change. Right? Based on that, the obstruction, you are getting some minor losses. Next one. Losses of head due to the bend in the pipes. So ekkada jarugutundi losses of head due to the bend in the pipe. So generally bends are created whenever it depends upon the design of the flow. But whenever the pipe is due to some misalignment or due to some placing or some problems, whenever you are getting some bend in a straight line pipe, at that point also the velocity of the flow will changes takes place. This is also some sort of minor changes. Next, what is the next one? Loss of head in various pipe fittings. So due to the pipe fitting, so whenever you are doing any plumbing work, so whenever the person is doing any plumbing work of pipe fittings, so whenever two or three persons are doing the same work, so one person will fit in a normal action, one person will fit in a tight action, or depends upon the criteria. So based on that also some sort of losses, some sort of energy will lost at this point of thing. So like this, you are having seven main types of minor energy losses in the pipes. So in case of the long pipe, the above losses are small. Together. So whenever the pipe is very long, this type of considerations is having very small thing. But whenever the pipes are short size, in case of long pipe, the above losses are small as compared with the loss of head due to the friction, and hence they are carried, and hence they are called as minor losses and even be neglected without serious error. But in case of short pipes, that is the problem here. Long pipes low, whatever the 7 points what we have discussed, this will get some negligible, so we can neglect. So there is no serious concern whenever these considerations are what we are using in the long pipes లోపల ఇలాంటి problems వచ్చినప్పుడు cases వచ్చినప్పుడు we can ignore, there is no lot of change. Okay, but only in case of shorter pipes, these losses are comparable with the loss of head due to the friction. So the flow of velocity, the flow of water or flow of fluid, whenever it is traveling from one end to other end with a short pipe distance, ఎప్పుడు అయితే these problems occurs in a short pipes, automatically we have to take serious action. So it should be comparable and we have to check for the minor energy losses. So this is the thing happening in this concept. Understood? So minor energy losses generally ekkada use avutundi. So the minor energy losses are generally applicable, generally serious if we go with the short pipes. So but in the case of long pipes, there is no major problem. So we can ignore some of the cases what we have discussed in the minor energy losses. Understood? Now in the next class we'll see the loss of head due to the sudden enlargement. So in the next classes we'll see all these 7 cases, not in detail, just briefly, just to make you figure this all things will not get in the exam, just only the formulas you have to keep in mind. What happens when the pipe is flowing in the shorter pipes and when the pipe is flowing in the longer pipes. These things you can see in your syllabus also, but detail ఇవ్వలేదు. The syllabus you are having, flow between the parallel plates అయిపోయింది, flow through the long pipes, flow through the long pipes and short pipes, and the flow through the long pipes in parallel, total energy line, variation of friction factor, flow through long pipes, hydraulically smooth and rough pipes completed. Darcy Weisbach equation is also completed. Minor losses, pipes in series and pipes in parallel. So in this minor losses, we are having the short and long. Now we'll see in the next class the loss of head due to the sudden enlargement. Sudden enlarge జరిగినప్పుడు, so if you see the figure here, the sudden enlargement. So here the pipe is here. If you see the pipe, so at some point the pipe diameter is increased, right? And what happens? The velocity v1 is flowing at some speed discharge. Here p1, even there is a pressure in the area. So whenever it is going in this action, the p2, a2 and v2. So we are taking the cross sections at that junction and other junction. By taking this into consideration, we will prepare some derivation and we will derive the formula. So consider a liquid flowing through a pipe. Consider a liquid flowing through a pipe which has a sudden enlargement as shown. So consider two sections 1, 1 and 2 before and after the enlargement. Now at section 1.1, P1, V1, A1. P1 is a pressure intensity, V1 is a velocity, and A is a area of a pipe. Then P2, A2, A2, P2, V2, and P2, V2, and A2 are the pressure intensity, velocity, and area 2. Therefore, due to sudden change in the diameter of the pipe, that is D1 into D2K, the liquid flowing from the smaller pipe is not able to follow the abrupt change in the boundary. Thereby, what happens? The flow అనేది separates from the boundary and turbulent process takes place, right? And turbulent. So whenever the see here, so whenever the pipe, whenever the water is flowing normally at this up to this point, whenever it is moving to other channel, other different diameter pipe, automatically it takes some turbulent reactions, takes some turbulent action. Then we are getting the turbulent eddies are formed in this process. The loss of energy takes place due to the formation of these eddies. Therefore, P dash is equal to pressure intensity of the liquid eddies between the area A2 minus A1. He is equal to loss of it due to the sudden enlargement. Therefore, applying the Bernoulli's equation, pressure energy plus kinetic energy plus datum energy is equals to section 1 is equal to section 2 plus loss of head in the sudden enlargement. ఇక్కడ HF రాదు, HE వస్తుంది అనమాట. Why? Because sudden enlargement జరిగింది కాబట్టి. Therefore, here datum lines are same. We are not, the pipes are not slant. We are on the same line. Therefore, Z1 is equal to Z2. Therefore, P1 by rho G is plus V1 square by rho D is equal to P2 by rho G plus V2 square by rho G plus HE. Therefore, HE is equal to sudden enlargement is equal to 0.1. Now, considering the volume of the liquid between section 1 and 2, the forces acting on the liquid, therefore, Fx is equals to P1 A1 plus gradient pressure intensity P dash A2 minus A1 minus P2 A2. But experimentally, P dash is equal to P1. Therefore, Fx is equals to P1 A1 plus P1 A2 minus A1 minus P2 A2 is equals to this one. That implies A2 common this one, P1 minus P2. Now, momentum of liquid at section 1.1 is given by mass into velocity. Then what is the mass? Rho into A1 V1 into velocity V1 is equals to rho into A1 V1 square. At the same time for section 2, here also rho A2 V2 square. Therefore, comparing the change, rho A2 V2 square minus rho A2 V1 square. Thereby applying the continuity equation, A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2 or A1 or A2 is equals to A2 V2 by V1, changing the momentum. So this one. So rho A2 V2 square minus rho into A2, apply this one. A values equal substitute chesi, and we are getting this one. So taking common rho A square, V2 square minus V1 V2. So this is a net force acting. Therefore, the change in the momentum per second is equating 2 and 3. P1 minus P2 into A2 is equals to rho A2, this one. Therefore, P1 minus P2 rho is equals to V2 square minus V1 V2. Dividing the G on both sides, we are having P1 minus P2 rho G is equals to V2 square minus V1 by G, that is equals to this one. Now, substituting the value of this with the equation 1. Equation 1 ఉంది కదా, ఈ equation 1 లో if you are substituting those values, He is equals to like this, and after simplifying finally He is equals to this one. He sudden enlargement అంటే formula అంటే V1 minus V2 square by 2G. So this is the formula for sudden enlargement. So with this we'll stop the class. The time is up. So we'll discuss in the Monday's class. So have a nice day. Have a great Sunday. So this video is uploaded in the YouTube channel. Later it is sent to your WhatsApp group. So those who are not sitting in the class uniformly, please share this link to those students, those who are not in the class, and also your students, your friends which are in the other colleges also. So thanks for listening patiently. Have a nice day.